obviously a pass play, and he couldn't find anyone open downfield. But sometimes the receivers just run those defenders off, and it creates a wide-open space.
Pete Carroll in that familiar hands-on knees pose. His guys will go for two here. From the shotgun, Wilson being chased out left. And he will get in to make it 8-0. And what a way to cap off the opening touchdown drive. You go for two, and you get it.
Remember when the PAT or the extra point was a gimme, right? Not plus 99%. It's not that way anymore, so more people are willing to take a chance, go for two, and take the kicker a little bit out of the game.
Out to kick is Janikowski. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
And there's a lot of good to watch in the game last week. He threw 4 touchdown passes. A little bit of concern throwing the 2 interceptions.
Yeah, and the 2 pick.
Yeah, you want the ratio really to be closer to 3-1 as opposed to the 2-1 that he had. But it is something to build on. They did get the win, didn't they?
Yep. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 22. Now a first down throw. Stafford completing it here to Marvin Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Stafford, and that's complete to Luke Wilson. Stafford to the former Seahawk Wilson for Lions first.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 8-0 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. To the air again, Stafford. It's complete to Golden Tate. Part of the reason they're here, no doubt, is his big performance in the NFC title game, and that's his first catch of the Super Bowl. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
On first down, it's Stafford. And it's caught over the middle. Wilson. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Now a first carry for LeGarrette Blount. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a third down. I'm no offensive mastermind, but of all the guys on the field to block, you might want to stop him.
Look, I've got a very simple rule. An unblocked defender is usually your best defender, and he ended up making the play there.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Well, that's something of a pick-me-up, but the offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
On first down, Wilson dancing to his left. And a quick shuffle pass here is complete. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
And a throw right sideline is complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
19.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Forced out to his left. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Now Wilson on 2nd down. Buying time to his left. That's caught. It's Thomas. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to
end zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Will Dissly, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
Well, split the difference, and they're right where they would have been with 2 PATs. They got the 2-point conversion the first time. They failed there.
Interesting, isn't it? Because the first time you go after your first score, that feels like a gamble. The second time when they tried it again, that felt like, what the heck, right? Because, as you said, even if you miss it, you split the difference, and you're right on schedule at 14 points.
So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the 2nd half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. From the gun, here's Stafford. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. To throw on second down is Stafford. To the right and complete to Galladay. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout called, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. 3rd and 2, Stafford. And Tate's got it. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Stafford on first down. Going underneath to Blunt. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a gain of 6, and it's a second down. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's brought down. They give him 17 yards that time, as that'll move the chains. Stafford now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. The final shot before the break. Stafford. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
It's brought in left side by Tate. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments, and right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
They go back to Reddick. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Here's Sam Martin now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And he's been busy with his feet. He's been quite the scrambling man.
And obviously that can break down a defense, but a lot of it is just that they just get trapped with worrying about it so much that other things break down as well. You know, you break the huddle, and you're not just playing what comes out at you. You're like, oh, God, don't let him outside of the pocket. Don't let him beat us with his legs. And then he starts to beat you other ways.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks. But it doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end of the half situation.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Doug Baldwin with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, you know, the 2nd half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the 2nd half.
Sebastian Janikowski on for the PAT. Janikowski good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. Out to kick is Janikowski. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, you know, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And to the left side here, Wilson. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit. Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle. Throwing is Stafford. Out to the right here to Wilson. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on third down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have fourth down to try and pick it up.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
And finding the tight end, Wilson. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Stafford now to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down. Now a first down throw. Stafford. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Back to the air. Stafford on second down. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Stafford. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs. From the red zone now, Stafford. Out to the flat for Reddick. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware the ball may come your way.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Throwing again is Stafford. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. In for the score. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Oh, Wilson going to throw on the move to his left. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Leaves it for Penning. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. As they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Now Wilson on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player, not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions. As the clock They'll stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll try and run for the penny. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as he'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. On 3rd and goal, Wilson, and he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. Will Dissly, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Janikowski adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out to kick is Janikowski. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. And after the slow start, the numbers show he has really straightened things out. How often sometimes is that you come into a game and the defense is game planned a little differently than you expected?
More often than maybe people realize, so adjustments are often a big part of each and every game, and it's not just getting to halftime. It's series to series to make it work, and being able to hang in there when there's a little adversity early and see them able to flip it around, it's kind of gratifying for a team to watch, especially for a coach.
And he'll indeed get him to the line and spike it here to stop the clock. And incomplete here. So that will leave him with 16 on the clock. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. He hits Riddick underneath. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is, because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for the Seahawks, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they will head home next week to take on the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, for Detroit, it's loss number 5 for them on the year. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.